welcome back to 709 Meridian, an audio commentary podcast. We are your hosts, Dee and Andrew.
Hello.
And we're stepping right into our next season here with a debut, several debuts on 709. We're doing our Michael J. Fox season here. We're kicking off with 1991's
Yep.
The Hard Way, starring Michael J. Fox and that guy, James Woods.
Yep. Directed by John Badham, also, I believe our first John Badham, which is incredible, though then when you look at it, it's like, I don't want to talk about Blue Thunder for 2 hours. I just don't. But yeah, we'll have lots of first-timers on the podcast. We've got Stephen Lang as the party crasher. So this is from, sort of the... Maybe we'll just wait, but it's from the transitory period between the 80s and the 90s, where we're post Lethal Weapon, so we are going to do more oddball buddy stuff across the board, and we'll sort of talk about
let's go on and
we also
jump
have
into it.
LL Cool J in this, and if you have not listened to a certain Cool Mo D track, I would recommend.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I like this one.
Yeah. Okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh.
Yeah, I love this one. This was the best one.
Oh.
How did they go from this to that shitty Jurassic Park one that they used for years?
Know.
Or better yet, I think Jurassic Park used this.
Jurassic Park 1 uses this.
And then the other ones kind of...
Yeah.
It switched after this. This is the best one, though. Universal. They killed with this one.
MCA. Much better than Comcast. Oh, shit. Does that mean we missed their 100th anniversary? We did. Okay.
What you call it has a different one. Wicked.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me why I tried to watch that shit.
You know my part 1 and part 2 rules. That's my new rule. Oh, shit. Wait, did Michael J. Fox just get top billing?
Yes, he did. Well, this is,
What's up? Yes, it is.
And it's James Woods. I don't think James Woods ever, unless it was a James Woods movie, Salvador. Shit like that. James Woods ain't getting no top billing.
Yeah, Stephen Lang making his podcast debut on 709 debut.
Annabella.
Yep.
Oh, another underrated. She was hot in the early 90s.
Dude, I totally forgot. We've got Delroy Lindo. We got Louise. Mary Mara's in it. I did remember that.
Louis.
Yep.
Christina Ricci. Louis making a comeback here because
Bill Cobbs.
He was in Beverly Hills Cop 4.
That's right. Okay.
Very small part, but
that's right. Yes. Arthur B. Rubin. So here we just have one of these beautiful New York street sequences that directors would probably take the job on to some degree.
And here we have Stephen Lang slumming it because his performance in Band of the Hand must have just eluded everybody for some weird reason. He was actually good in that movie, and then he does this where...
I mean, this is also... Isn't this basically his performance in Avatar, too?
Pretty much, yeah, without the wacky shit. But yeah, he's over the top in a whole other way in Avatar. Louis and James Woods, who we're gonna see a lot of in this movie.
Yes, we are. We've alluded to James Woods in the past. I do just want to mention that the fucking like um driving composites are I love them. Like I think I don't know if he's going for Taxi Driver, but like I've kind of forgot how. So in the 80s, Larry Cohen would be a good example of it. There were a bunch of like low budget action cop movies set in New York and filmed in New York, but they were lower budget. They were Larry Cohen for the like would be a good example of the guy who was you couldn't believe all of a sudden that you were watching this like action sequence. It's shot in New York because Hollywood, they'd replace New York with two streets in LA starting in 96, and that's
Oh.
just how we do it now. But I was going to make my comment about Foreman my first time. So folks, we're recording just after George Foreman passed. I would like to point out
Yeah,
that somehow James Woods has escaped the fucking
Foreman
like
and Wings Hauser.
right like Wings Hauser's not out there being a piece of shit on the daily. Like,
No,
anyway, it's very disappointing. James Woods is on the list of the people who we lost a lot. It turns out a lot of people we thought were great from the 80s and 90s twere not. Twere
no.
not.
Here,
So,
what's his face is about to get blasted. This guy
yep.
who has been in a lot of movies. He's a dude that got blown away with an arrow in fucking Rambo. And of course, we're playing co-star LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out" in this sequence, which I think is on the soundtrack because they did have a video for that. There were two versions. There was the LL in a boxing ring and LL uh, with film scenes interspliced.
Okay.
Of course, most of the scenes he appeared in. So you got this.
And there he is.
Yeah. I think this is his first, well, not his first movie because he had been in Crush Groove at this point, and I think a couple other things as himself though. But this is before actor LL Cool J
Right.
became a thing.
So, yes, we've got our cops here.
And I believe "Mama Said Knock You Out" was his response to
Oh, the cool Modi.
right. Like that battle was going on for a while, so oh. Ooh.
What's so not funny about this is, but like peculiar, awkward, is that we have in this a sort of, full on hero versus nemesis thing that we're able to establish in
Mm-hmm.
7 minutes and 40 seconds. And there are whole superhero franchises now that don't get around to this. Like,
No.
it's fucking hilarious. Universal, that's Fabio. Fabio was just in the background working the
Oh my
crowd.
god.
Yeah. Fabio's also a piece of shit, everybody.
Ugh.
Um, Sorry. We should
Back
just
then,
have.
he was never a ironically cool thing. So
It was very like it was a very weird like he clearly some
LL
agent
killed
was
me.
like, I'm gonna make Fabio happen. We'll get him into the hard way. Like, because Universal did sort of have a stable of actors. Like Michael J. Fox was a Universal.
Right, he was one of those actors who was specifically under, I guess, contract
Yeah, I think he had like I don't know if
with
he had a
Universal.
development
He had a
deal or
deal.
whatever, but like he had a deal because spoiler, we haven't finalized some of the season details, but basically between well, he's a funny one. He's kind of like Eddie that other
Yeah,
well, let's be clear. Michael J. Fox himself was never a brand. I think he's hilarious. Love the
and
guy.
he was a
Eh,
star.
he was a star, but
You know, you go to see a Michael J. Fox movie, especially anything that wasn't Back to the Future.
yeah, but people didn't is sort of the point of the season, unfortunately. Well, especially
Yeah,
this.
he.
Like, this is a fucking great action sequence.
Yeah.
Like, James Woods was so fucking good. The thing is James Woods actually ceased to be good, like, in any spectacular way in Casino. Because that's sort of when he did
Yeah.
his Meryl Streep, where he just like was like, fine, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna turn it into a bit. And he turned it into a bit. And like Nicholson did or did not do that in The Shining, like to some degree, right? Like all these actors eventually lean into the bit. So like Woods is a disappointment as a human being. Like he already to the degree he could sell out because he never like all that selling out just, you know, kept him fed. It's not like he
Here we go.
there we go, and here it is.
And just the absurdity of Michael J. Fox playing this kind of.
Mm-hmm. But he would so this 91 we are definitely going to watch Doc Hollywood, but Doc Hollywood was Warner. So it
Hmm.
was like that was his hit of this year. It was a video hit. It like convinced people that there was something to.
Yeah, to keep going with this guy.
Yeah. But then he immediately went back to Universal and made a bunch of milk toast stuff. Nothing as exciting as Doc
Uh,
Hollywood.
we may have to find room for the Frighteners.
That's the turnaround. Or we
Yeah,
could. Yeah. I mean, The Frighteners is the turnaround.
yeah.
And that's also when he was on Spin City. So he sort of had his comeback as a grown up, right? Like,
Hmm.
but then this, I don't know if this was at all a video hit or a cable hit, but like
Eh,
when I
right.
discovered this, it was a delight
Yeah,
because,
it's just good.
yeah,
Penny Marshall here when she was directing movies.
the
She's doing her Penny Marshall thing.
this would have been just before League of Their Own, which was sort of her turnaround. Not her turnaround, but her like
Yeah,
becoming.
her making she was legit.
Yeah.
'Cause up till here, she was what? She was floating on, what was it? Big.
Yeah, would have been big.
Big was what, got her in the restaurant.
So actually, Universal wise, I think the only two he does after this before like the Frighteners, I think it's just For Love or Money and Greedy.
Mm, and both of those kind of,
Yeah.
they just sort of lingered.
Because I think Life with Mikey's actually like Touchstone or something. So we'll figure it out. What we're gonna do. But definitely Doc Hollywood, because I haven't seen that in ages, and there's some other
Hmm.
stuff in there. We will be avoiding the high drama. We have not decided how much of the
Yeah.
late mid to late 80s we're getting into, but we are going to avoid the high drama.
Because Light of Day, Casualties of War, and Bright Lights, Big City are depressing as fuck. He's good in them. They're just, yeah.
And Secret
They
of
don't
My
like
Yeah,
work the room like Michael J. Fox did. Like he just, you see how he's just everywhere and oh,
yeah. I mean, well, he took the best of a sitcom energy
right.
to,
He knew what he just. It's almost a shame him and Eddie never got to do anything.
yeah. There's Kathy Najimy.
Hmm. Very early too. I think
Yeah.
this is right before Sister Act, which kind of set her off. Well, basically, she played this part in Soap Dish already. This was Kathy Najimy for a while.
Was it was Soap Dish before
Paramount.
this?
Yeah, it was before this, I
It
think.
was 90. Was it 90? Or was it 92? I can never remember with Soap Dish. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna get into it, but you can guess why Kathy and Jimmy didn't get much of a chance. I don't think I've ever noticed the paintings on the walls, though. That's something.
So
Soap
women body
Dish.
parts.
Yeah, Soap Dish was also actually this year.
Oh,
So it was also 91.
uh, here we go. Delroy Lindo.
So at this point, Delroy Lindo had,
James Woods is a good rant guy.
oh yeah, I mean this was basically
What cursed him, however, is Dennis Leary was just waiting in the wings.
right. Like, you could be, yeah. Like if you just were going to be a rant guy, you could just get Dennis Leary, especially at this point.
Mm, I could
'Cause-
almost see him in this part, but he wouldn't be. There's a thing about James Woods at the time. He was that guy, but he was likable.
right. Okay, so Delroy Lindo was in that Bright Angel movie that I've never seen with Sam Shepard and Dermot Mulroney. He was also in Perfect Witness, which is a Robert Mandel, Brian Dennehy, Aidan Quinn thing that because it's Robert Mandel feels at times like FX. Here's Annabelle Sciorra. But this is Delroy Lindo's first one of these. He was West Indian Archie and Malcolm X the next year, and then oh God, he's so good in Crooklyn. But
Hmm.
yeah, this was like actually his first sort of break out, like, or his first big studio role like this. But the mullets. So Annabella Sciorra would do. Wasn't she Hand
She
That
was,
Rocks the Cradle?
yeah, she was Hannah Rock's Cradle, Jungle Fever. She had like one after another for a while. and then she just sort of faded out.
Yeah. She ended up on a Law and Order, I think. Maybe not.
Oh,
I
they all
noticed
do.
Mary Elizabeth
Everybody does.
Mastrantonio did at one point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, think I don't think Michael J. Fox has a romantic interest in this at all. So
No.
like it is, despite us discussing how Michael J. Fox got the top billing, it is a James Woods movie. Like
Yeah. He's the main character, pretty much. Michael J. Fox was the draw.
right.
You don't go to see a James Woods movie unless James Woods movies don't make money, basically.
Good point. There you go. What do you mean? You mean the guy who played RoboCop?
So the rest of the movie kind of plays on Michael J. Fox getting on James Woods' nerves. And here he is in his Ray Kazanoff disguise. Oh, yeah, the plot of this is Michael J. Fox is an actor who wants the role of a hardened cop, and they sort of set him up with James Woods here as his sort of ride along. And he's just on fire. Michael J. Fox is just all over.
So one thing that um is a little bit different about Michael J. Fox than, I mean, really kind of anything now, for sure, is he wasn't scared of acknowledging the height thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, what's his face? Robert Downey Jr.'s lifts have to go up an inch in every movie and shit like that, right? Like,
God, I miss those soap dispensers.
oh, right.
They don't have those anymore. Ugh.
Trailer shot.
Yeah. A lot of this is made up of trailer shit.
Well, I mean, that's like the thing is that, and Digstown is a really good example of this, is that like James Woods and Michael J. Fox in this, they have this sort of great, like, their energy. They both have a lot of energy, and so it keeps things like it's entertaining to watch in a
Mm.
way that um I assume it wouldn't be were it like a Bruce Willis action movie with a sidekick.
Oh shit. He's another one I could picture. This definitely would have been a buffer between the diehards.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he should have did this over some fucking Hudson Hawk.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, um,
They should have had a picture of Inspector Todd up there for no reason. Oh wait, here comes one of the most unfunniest lines by LL. Is this the Frog Dogs thing?
no, I remember there's.
Wait,
Oh,
I think it's
is it?
coming.
Okay,
Oh wait,
so we talked over it, but James Woods isn't supposed to be doing any real cop work. He's supposed
it,
to.
that shit.
Oh no, we are doing Frog Dogs.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that's such a trailer shot, and it's not even funny in the movie. Oh, McDonald's in the back. Wait, or is that a McDowell's?
Oh,
Huh.
it is pretty fucking talky, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I wonder what dialogue was in the script and what was just kind of.
Oh, so John Badham would go on to direct um Point of No Return,
Mhm.
which was what, 90, was that just 92? Shit. Um and that was support it was supposed to be so for people who are too young to remember, for about, I don't know what, 10 years, 15 years, if like a foreign language movie was a big enough hit,
Oh
there
God,
would
yeah,
be work on
an
getting it.
American
Yeah. So we did
remake.
it. Yeah. And, they did the fucking girl with the
Yeah, there was
dragon tattoo or whatever, but
La Femme Nikita begat
Point
Point
of
of
No
No Return.
Return, which begat,
I think it
um,
started with Three Men and a Baby though.
yeah, that was a big one. But, supposedly Point of No Return was going to be a no-brainer hit.
Hmm.
And it was a bomb. And, oh, Lauren Toussaint's in it. Like, it was really weird that John Badham was directing it because John Badham, not really known as like the flashiest. Like, certainly he was known as a competent action director who could do complicated, you know, set pieces, which we've seen here. but he wasn't like,
Hey, Bill Cobbs.
gonna reinvent the wheel, which was sort of the vibe of La Femme Nikita. Um, but I think that would basically, I don't know, what am I talking about? He just ended up at, I forgot about Drop Zone.
Yeah,
No, never mind,
Wesley.
everybody. John Badham didn't have to actually work hard until or try until 97. Until he screwed up Nick of Time, which was supposed to turn Johnny Depp into a Keanu Reeves action star post Speed. Ugh.
And here we had these pee-wee ass gangsters, the Dead
Mm,
Romeos. They got an MLK poster in the back. Like, what the?
yeah, I feel like
This is very. I think we mentioned a couple other times too. It's MTV inspired. This was an adult action picture for the MTV crowd because that's why they threw LL in here
right.
randomly.
We're trying to capture an aging Back to the Future demographic type deal thing.
Mm-hmm. Because this feels like something that might have started serious with maybe just James Woods attached to it.
Mm,
And then they said, well, nobody's going to see this shit. So you throw in Michael J. Fox, you throw in LL.
they should have. That's I'm not sure if that's the accurate thing. Another interesting way of doing it would have been what if you'd had an action hero in the Michael J. Fox part?
Mm.
Like you'd actually had, like you'd done this as Bruce Willis and Mel Gibson or
Yeah, would it have been, though,
Russell.
funny, though, with one of those guys?
With John Badham directing, I can tell you that.
Right. It kind of would have had some sort of strangeness
Malcolm
if,
X drawing.
yeah, if there had been an actual action guy. It
Right. It would have, yeah.
would have looked weird.
Sorry. What
He's
can I say? I like Michael
right.
J. Fox.
Yeah, he's just. He kills it here. Because I don't think he's ever played annoying before.
Not cloyingly, not like a tagger on annoying. Like he's
Right.
a so he would so he one of his
Like he was a pipsqueak punk on Family Ties, but he was a lovable pipsqueak punk.
right like
You know, he played White Carlton for all those years.
Another trailer moment here.
Hmm.
So this was co-written by Lem Dobbs, who has a very familiar name. I think he had something to do with Dark City. He was this the Minus Man,
Oh,
but also the Steven Soderbergh Kafka, which is awful. Um, Louise, just sort of the peak of Louise before
oh,
Discovery here.
very much a Beverly Hills Cop throwback.
Mm,
Nobody really got thrown out of windows anymore.
no.
Like it.
Because getting thrown out of windows probably started in like Western TV shows or something, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
made it to cop shows. Okay, so here's the frog dog scene, which okay, so they have I think the deal is they got the car from the impound or something.
Yeah, that super
IMDb
flymobile.
trivia says that the frog dog scene in the TV cut is before. Oh, I want some onion rings. Um, the frog dog scene is actually before the Dead Romeo scene, so there's a continuity mistake. But we haven't met Christina Ricci yet. We're just establishing she's gonna give him a bunch of shit.
Mm.
I couldn't remember if it was Christina Ricci or Gabby Hoffman. I feel like there's a Gabby Hoffman from this era
No,
too.
it's Christina Ricci.
No, I know, but I mean, just
Ah, ketchup. Are you sick?
well, what I love is the fucking hot dogs were like these just they just looked like fucking microwaved hot dogs. Like,
Yeah. I did that at least twice.
hot dog eating bits. Very I think the problem is if you cut the too much talking out of this, you've only got about a 40
Yeah, you
minute
don't
movie.
have much. And the thing of it is, a lot of the buddy cop movies leaned on when shit isn't blowing up. It did lean on the whole banter,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the imbalance in a lot of these sort of knockoffs. This one though has a lot of fucking car porn though. More, almost as much as like Blues Brothers or something.
Well, I mean, it's just at the very least, the least being point of no return, I kind of guess I do need to see Bird on a Wire someday.
Oh, right. I had that on the watch list for a minute, and I was like,
Like to some degree, Badham, the thing about him was his movies aren't ever lazy, right? Like even Drop Zone is not a lazily made movie. Like
they
it,
look really good.
yeah. And
Good
like
looking film.
here, we're running long, um, but we don't have like this isn't it's fucking 1991. Like I don't know who could have made the hard way into a fucking transcendent experience in 1991. But it's like Badham always like took advantage of his budget and shit like that. And you always felt like you were getting um at the very least you were getting the you weren't gonna get cheaped out on.
That fucking car, man. That shit.
Well, some of the God, do you think they even asked Clint Eastwood?
They
Because
might have had him in mind.
this is like a Dirty Harry movie if you take out the Michael J.
Almost. Yeah, if you
Fox.
take
Like
out Michael J. Fox,
the
it's definitely.
fucking and the girlfriend, it's like the crime shit is like a Dirty Harry
Mm-hmm.
like
It's Dirty Harry. It's any solo cop.
yeah.
Especially, they have to make it super gritty because it's New York.
Yeah. Okay. So 41 minutes, we got an hour 10 left. Um and basically we just went, "Hey, it's the start of Act 2."
Here he is in his evil lair.
This is what I was trying to remember in the quotes. That's not on
Yeah.
IMDb. uh,
Right, we're just finally getting to his place and shit. It really just looks like a redress of the Party Crashers place.
a different angle.
Yep.
Pull down those blinds. Well, we're starting to. Well, also maybe not. Like
Yeah.
we are only seeing the wall and his Apple computer that's like doing stuff in the background. It was just like refreshing. So we're now discovering that James Woods is
He's
whatever
a.
type of super cop is actually a man of depth and
And what's weird is his place is very neat and decorated.
mhm.
Normally, loner cops are slobs. You know, we've seen Axel, we fucking Riggs.
Cobra.
from Lethal Weapon. Right, Cobra. They usually have clothes laying around, and or the furniture is sparse. You know, it looks like nobody lives there. But this is a
And
very nice place.
but this is also an action movie not related to Joel Silver
Right,
or Jerry Bruckheimer. I was just thinking though, what about Tango and Cash? So
right.
Stallone would
Stallone was the yeah. He would have had a place like this.
yeah, he was mocked for the neatness.
But problem with Moss is, or James Woods' character, he comes off as the Kurt Russell or
Hmm.
the Riggs or whatever, and his place looks like this. So you gotta wonder, why does he have such a fucking? It doesn't match up, basically.
No, and we're never gonna.
See, now
It's
there,
just a bit, right? Like,
he looks in the
yeah.
refrigerator. There's barely anything. That right there is, you know.
Mhm.
Is this another one where Michael J. Fox's hair changes between scenes? Or are they going
Yeah,
to be
but
consistent with it?
I think we're gonna
Because it
be
hasn't been this
consistent
shaggy
from
since.
here.
Hmm,
Like from this point in the movie, I think we'll be consistent.
okay. Because it hasn't been this shaggy since maybe Teen Wolf.
Look how shaggy it is in the back too.
Yeah,
So we have our orange lighting of the apartment, the sunlight, which is the non sort of crisp New York cinematography. It's sort of the LA
right.
gone.
LA Sunset.
Yeah. Here we have Christina Ricci.
Lil Christina Ricci acting older than her age even then. Millie Bobby Brown, take notes.
There's a couple other jokes that we won't be making right here because we don't want to be named in any of the lawsuits.
Yeah.
That's not how we want it. That's not how we want 709 to hit.
We won't be making any James Woods' audition in his second
Oh, I wasn't even
ex-wife.
gonna second. I mean, it would have been like,
I mean, because yeah, now that he's kind of worn out Annabella, he's
no.
really on a date with Christina Ricci there.
Mm.
Back then, I really didn't think much about Annabella. She's not bad looking. She's just not. She's good enough for this, I guess. Like you weren't gonna get a Brooke Shields and stand her next to James Woods,
No.
unless he demanded it, of course. But
No, what was did she? Well, I mean, she never like Didn't she only basically ever do shit like this? Like,
Yeah, like she became. It
God,
never really so much was about her acting. Trash.
okay, yeah, she was on what was I just think one of the Law and Orders.
Mm.
But she was on early and then replaced by
I think she was on organized crime for a while, and then not
so
organized crime, criminal intent.
yeah, she was on Criminal Intent at the
D'Onofrio.
beginning. Yeah. Okay, so she started in True Love, the Nancy Savoca movie that I believe is just getting restored. But like that was a bit of a breakthrough for her. She was in Internal Affairs, which I still haven't seen. Which not the first time I've said that on the podcast.
Mm.
Cadillac Man, she was in, but like not one of
She
the
had a
main
run,
ones.
like a serious run in the 90s.
Yeah, she was one of the lawyers. It looks like in maybe lawyers or somebody in Reversal of Fortune. Then Jungle Fever would have been, you know,
It was supposed to be her big break, breakout,
yep.
I
She
suppose.
did Hand That Rocks the Cradle. She did her erotic thriller. Um,
Yeah.
and then that was kind of, I mean, by 95, by 96, it was over. Like 97, she was doing miniseries, like network miniseries, and trying to come back in Copland with other people. And then, but yeah, there was sort of like, I'm not really sure,
Yeah, that's right. She was in Copland.
like, really where
Yeah, there was no height
she
from
never
which to
had
fall.
she never had like an action. She never tried action she never tried running like down the
Right.
street, really. Like so she didn't try anything near Rachel Tickerton.
No.
She didn't do any mob movies at that point.
Oh,
Like she would, but she didn't. It's not like Lorraine Bracco.
right.
So
She sort of, that was her territory at the time. You're right. And throughout this whole thing, now, normally in these, you have a scene where they come to an understanding. And for this movie, it's too soon, but it comes a little too late, too, in this movie, and he still can't stand him.
right, because we've got we've paused the party crasher thing to work on
His life, his
yeah
background.
to work on this subplot. So it's very the momentum then goes back to our sort of comedy bit, which is um
Right. We got to go into this. And
it's just This is a comedy scene directed by John Badham, right? Like that just um
It's pretty light.
yeah, I wonder
James
if
Woods really isn't trying. Michael J. Fox is going for screwball, but James Woods
yeah.
is just kind of.
And that's what it is like Michael J. Fox is in a R-rated screwball
Mm.
and
You know what's weird? I could see this being made today, and maybe Michael J. Fox's part could be Jason Bateman. It's so weird, but I could see that. But I can't picture anybody being James Woods unless it's like Jason Statham or something.
and Statham's never done yeah, right? Like it would be
Statham's never gone really outside of Statham to be just a regular dude,
right,
like a likable guy, as opposed to competent man.
right. Did you ever see Expendables 4?
Uh, I think I half watched it.
Nah.
I know I saw it. It's just again, it was it really don't work unless you got the guys in it. And I'll say the best of those movies is part two. Three is good, but it should have just been a hard R.
Right,
And you don't get enough of the old school guys before Stallone goes and recruits the youngins. Then they get caught. It's such a bad distraction in the movie. I will say this: Antonio Banderas saved that shit from being a piece of shit, and he should have been in Expendables 4. They get a guy to play his son, and the only thing I got out of Expendables 4 is I want to see a spin-off movie with Antonio and that guy playing his kid.
right. All right, here we go. Who's doing this? Oh, hey, it's what's his face?
Hmm.
Um, we missed this, but one of the dead Romeos was played by a young Yasin Bey.
Huh.
This guy is what the fuck is he? Come on. Witherspoon. Where's Witherspoon? He's not uncredited, is he? What the hell is going on? The actor is Conrad Roberts, who Serpent in the Rainbow, probably. I guess that must be what I'm thinking of him from. Or this. I don't know. What's he do?
This is what I remember this guy from.
Yeah, this might be. Well, wait, he was on TV a bunch. Not really, actually. Uh, I mean, I don't know. Do I have a flashback of the one? Oh, wow. No, not the one season. What am I saying? He was on an NBC 30-minute soap called The Doctors. I assumed it was just some canceled yeah, maybe it is. Well, that's kind of the problem with the Hard Way is it looks like five other movies from around this time. So,
You know, the Party Crasher storyline would have been great for a Running Scared sequel.
mm,
I just thought that I could see them running around trying to catch.
mhm. So Running Scared, we've talked about it, but it was sort of a
It came too early in the genre,
right. It
and
came too early in the genre.
it
Oh
didn't catch
man,
as much heat because it was supposed to
talking about
sort of
action scenes.
play off the momentum of like 48 hours.
But
Like,
it came out 4 years after that, right? Like
yeah,
it
it
was
came out after
trying.
48 hours, but before Lethal Weapon.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of the thing. And it wasn't, I hesitate to say it was an action comedy because it does have lots of action,
mhm.
but not in the way that Lethal Weapon does. Okay, I guess it just doesn't have lethal. So
Yeah, Lethal Weapon has actual.
significant body count, and that's sort of the difference. Is that
Yeah, and the sequences are plentiful. And Lethal in Running Scared, you have two major sequences, and then everything else is shootouts.
so? We're an hour in, and James Woods has figured out the gun situation that sort of started in that scene before the Frog Dogs, LL Cool J's Frog Dogs delivery. Here we have a very nice little patio restaurant.
She's better looking than I remember her looking. That happens with age, I guess.
Doesn't care that he's a movie star. She's gonna get kidnapped, right?
Later on, that's why I say that definitely. Wow, this
We,
parallels Running Scared a little bit, but it's sort of paint by numbers for these movies because anytime a woman is involved,
yeah,
she's gonna get
and
caught, kidnapped, and shit.
Jesus, Michael J. Fox, come on, man, get it together, get it together, Nick Lang. I mean, success, but also get it together, Nick Lang.
You know who reminds me of Annabella now? Um, who's it that played in Penguin?
Nancy Penguin.
The actress that played in the Penguin, the one from How I Met Your Mother. They kind of have the same energy, and they do resemble each other a little. Like, I'm surprised she didn't show up on the Penguin as her mother or something.
Kristen Milotti, maybe? Yep,
Yeah,
How I Met Your Mother. Yep. Oh, Theo
the two
Rossi's
of
on it.
them, the two of them need to cross paths. Yeah, Theo Rossi's in it. I haven't watched it either, but I don't see a reason, yeah, to really, from what I've seen of it.
Yeah, I can wait until
Look at the stunt woman there. She's built like a stunt chick, the big redhead.
she's also working her ass off to be noticed right now. Like
Right.
Alan
Faces.
Richardson, take note. Like I think that's somebody on the other side of him too.
Yeah. Well, this is
Uh-oh.
where everybody on the train is packing, right?
Oh, yeah. No,
But
wait.
she's working that angle.
Oh, wait. So nobody's recognizing that he's Nick Lang? Okay.
Mm-mm. Well, it's the hair. Remember, Nick Lang has like a fucking mullet and his hair is blonde. But New York, get it?
What year was Predator 2? 90?
90. Yeah.
Okay.
The future year of 1997.
Yeah. So we're a year after that bit.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a
it.
joke
Yeah.
for a while.
Kind of like our or our scar comparisons between boys and girls action stars, which would really kick off in Lethal Weapon 3, but got its start in Return to Swamp Thing. um, gang leader is, I believe, named in the credits. Okay, I bet we're gonna. How many bullets does his revolver have?
His is fake. Or the gang
No,
guy.
the gang
Right.
guys had more than.
Well, yeah. Oh, there we go. He reloaded.
Okay, and he had an automatic. Sorry, folks. Not up on my gun foo. So Keanu Reeves is showing up in the ballerina spinoff. Like,
Yeah. Well, nobody's gonna watch it if John Wick doesn't appear.
well, I guess I'm glad somebody was like, "Hey, remember how well Supergirl did without Christopher Reeve after we promised it?"
Yeah, that I think that's like the mistake that they're all trying to rectify. That you do something like this, God damn it, you better have some kind of appearance
Yeah.
or connecting solid connecting device.
Okay, so here we have James Woods doing his Dirty Harry moment.
Which is fun. He makes it work because you don't. James Woods is the last guy that do it. Like the end of the Punisher, do it. Who the trigger? Do
I'll try to watch that tonight.
it. It's still good. The word print
Yeah.
is great. I mean, you just have to look past the fact it's a work print, but that's the version they should have released.
Oh,
Oh, great location shooting, though.
mhm.
I gotta
Just
give them that.
gorgeous. Yeah, look at that.
It almost feels like a Ghostbusters movie.
You can just feel the fucking tree, like the humidity. It's
Mm-hmm. Look at that in the back. I miss Michael J. Fox. God damn it.
yep.
Shit.
Yup.
Oh.
Why is
I mean,
Delroy Lindo wearing a windbreaker?
oh wait, isn't that because that's the jacket or
Oh, is it?
something?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see the back of it. Oh God, is it a shooting bullets two jacket? I think it
Right,
is.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Members only looking. Yeah. See, I had to look up Delroy Lindo. I thought he passed away.
No, he's on second season of some show. Like,
I was scared. I was like, oh shit.
uh, I think he's having a fine.
Wow.
uh, no, what is that show? Somebody's on it with it. Hold on. Let's see. Unprisoned. Kerry Washington.
Oh,
Appears to be a sitcom about him moving in after getting out.
a sitcom.
Uh,
Oh
Messy
wow,
but
this is
perfectionist relationship therapist and single mom has her life turned right side up when her dad gets out of prison and moves in with her and her teenage son.
oh, this
So,
is it. This is almost the end here.
with 38 minutes. So, unless we've got long credits, it's a very long action sequence. I still need to see the five bloods.
I saw it, but I never. I It's one of those you watch it, you forget that you saw it.
Mm,
So I gotta see that again.
he was Bass Reeves in The Harder They Fall, which I bet hits different now than when it came out in 2021.
You know, I really would watch that Bass Reeves, but they should have got somebody else.
Yeah. He was a regular on Delroy Lindo looks like he was a regular on The Good Fight, actually. I didn't realize he was a regular. 41
Hmm.
episodes. As many as Kush Jumbo. If I didn't want to be depressed when that started, now I don't know if it matters. Okay. So are we having a long chase sequence? Like I can't.
Well, here, this is, I don't know, I want to spoil it, but they've given Nick Lang a firearm,
That's right. That's
and
right. I forgot. Okay. No, there's this first. That's right. Okay.
yeah, there's this, and then there's another sequence after this. So this is a bit of a misdirect, but it's played straight here because
Hmm.
so he really becomes a movie star here, thinking about his career. And
The tour is going to be ruined. What about the tour?
so if anybody's seeing this for the first time, it's kind of a what the fuck moment because it's played so straight.
Right. Okay. So, oddly slash interestingly enough, um, this cop being followed around by a Hollywood actor trying to get background was like a subplot in the original in the novel Clockers, which would become the movie with Delroy Lindo and not include that subplot at all. But
Wow.
yeah, there was a full like when it when for 3 minutes or whatever it was going to be a Martin Scorsese movie starring Robert De Niro. It would have been like Brad Pitt following Robert De Niro around,
Huh.
in addition to the other plotline.
Whoa.
Oh, that headline was hilarious. It had the action stars and then ended with Streep because forecasting perhaps River Wild.
Oh.
Also a Universal picture. Who directed that? Somebody weird. Isn't it Joseph Rubin?
Hmm. The girl cop was kind of funny too.
Yeah.
She
Mary
didn't get
Murray's
much.
funny now, but she's funny. Yeah. River Wild. Wasn't that Ruben or was that somebody else? Well, that was 94. That was forever. Curtis Hanson. Oh, director of Hand That Rocks the Cradle, I think.
Oh, here it comes. It all comes out. So they staged this event here to just get the hell rid of little Nick Lang, and it
Isn't
backfired because
that
he has a conscience.
Frog Dog in the back, though?
I don't know.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if it comes back. The guy in the far back against the window in the hat looks very much like Frog Dog guy.
Oh, here we go. LL getting in more lines because
Yep.
we the record executive said LL has to have a minimum of at least 10 lines in the film.
Mhm.
Mr. Simmons will not stand for. I don't even know if he was still with Def Jam.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we've got a fairly like detailed um setup here. Witherspoon is going to sell him the gun, and all the cops are staked out. We've got Stephen Lang in those pants because it's hammer time. And does does Michael J. Fox ruin it,
Yeah,
or
somehow this gets botched. I think because Stephen Lang skits is out, and somehow Michael J. Fox does end up in the middle of all this. Yeah, see?
I think it would have made more sense to bug the car, but whatever.
Yeah, they always wire up the person, which I don't know. Maybe that's standard like cop movie
Right.
rules, but there's so many other things you could bug as to not be obvious.
It's a very well lit underground. Yes.
It looks like the garage in Christine. A lot of red.
Mhm.
Stephen Lang in his neatly tucked in t-shirt. And
Mhm. This is really fucking red. Like,
mm,
I feel like there's some symbolism that I'm either.
the party crasher's angry.
Mm, okay.
They've pissed him off. And this really, I didn't care too much for this here, where he
Yeah.
perishes the guy. So where are you gonna get your guns from, man?
Yeah. Oh, that fucker had a sniper rifle the whole time.
Right the whole time, and he's standing right out there. There's two on him, two sharpshooters. Mm, bogus.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, this would have been over with. The fact they had sharpshooters, and he was standing out there
Well, they had
clean.
sharpshooters. We've got like a. The explosion doesn't really matter. Like,
No, it's not a spectacular explosion. It's
no,
not a lethal weapon explosion.
no. We don't have any pyrotechnic budget. Like, but we are gonna have a, shot on location New York chase. Oh, it's changing. Gonna be a little cheaper to do it now because we're on foot.
All right, here we go. Nick has commandeered a squad car.
What's sort of weird? So I talked about the TV cut per IMDb trivia, but like many movies had slightly different TV cuts. What's weird about this one is it seems like a lot of the beats that aren't in the actual movie would have made funny scenes. Like him getting the squad car, them
Mm,
getting the pimp mobile. Like those could have been bits. Instead, they're just like,
yeah, they're non-existent.
yeah.
Oh, old school movie theaters. God, a real movie house.
Let's see, what are we watching? Are we going to get any?
It's a Nick Lang,
Oh, okay. Good point.
just to piss him off.
None of them could buy tickets. What are you talking about? They're watching The Golden Child.
Ninjas. Everything cheesy about action movies back then.
Uh-huh. Oh shit! Aren't like Annabella Sciorra and Christina Ricci? Don't they just happen to be in the fucking movie theater or something? No,
No,
they don't.
no.
Okay, so I can't imagine why, but I often get this movie in my head confused with not last act. I mean, yes, Last Action Hero has a sequence in the theater, but actually, Last Boy Scout.
Mm.
Just for some reason, probably the strobe lights earlier.
This is actually pretty good though.
Mhm. The Kid. Check out The Kid in front of
Yeah,
James Woods. Yeah.
the kid just.
But I mean, that's the thing, though. That's like a full. That should be a better comedy bit. But like, well, I don't know who realistically would have. Like, you couldn't get John Landis to do this. They needed stunt people. Um,
John Landis. This would have been 2 hours
it
if it
is
was
two
John
hours
Landis.
though.
But I mean, it would have been like a heavy, like it would have been 2 hours, but it would have felt like three. You know what I mean? Because John Landis would have put everything in this shit.
Oh, and everybody.
Yep. Yeah, especially with the Hollywood angle, as many cameos and shit.
Okay, we have an amusing.
Thank God the kid wasn't like, oh, bird on a wire. Steve. I remember seeing this on USA a lot.
That yeah,
And
that
US
like
USA was known for because they had the vault, Universal. Um,
yeah,
they were notorious for playing alternate versions.
yeah. And were they even like in the same like were they owned by MCA or did USA just for whatever reason just have like they just hooked up all the Universal they could?
Eventually, they were, or they might have always been affiliated, but it wasn't made, you know, exclusive till years later, like blatant, because they had a
Right.
lot of Universal library.
And the USA originals like filmed on the
Mhm.
Universal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they made a big thing when Swamp Thing came out.
So all of those people recognized late Nick Lang though, even those hairs.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
See, yeah, if this was John Landis, holy shit.
It wouldn't be in New York. Like,
No?
nah, he'd do it now. Did Landis ever do anything?
uh
Oh,
With
I
the
just
exception of what, that last sequence in, yeah, New York, Coming to America.
okay.
But there wasn't much, you know, there wasn't any of this. There was
No.
just like, I guess, a little location shit. And
No car flipping. Oh, wait, wow. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
look at that. This was in the music video, the slow mo. Gonna knock you out.
Despite the impressiveness of that, this is actually it feels like a Larry Cohen movie with that teeny ass crowd running.
Oh shit. Oh damn.
So here we got James Woods in his fucking fancy kitchen doing a microwave dinner.
Wow. So this is what she just normally dresses in, right?
Mm-hmm.
She just leaves the house in evening gowns and because she hasn't once like just worn like everyday wear. Every time she's seen, she has a really nice dress on.
We'll have to
Like
check.
it's a
I mean,
50s
yeah,
movie.
yeah. The second one was like a Marilyn Monroe dress and shit. Yeah, we'll have to check and see if she has if there's a special credit. Okay, last 15 minutes. Oh. Is he gonna toss up the kitchen? Yeah, he is.
Nah.
It's a weird ass clock, too. This is like this the weird like so I don't know if we've watched anything with some significant like late 80s apartment decorating. But
It
like
looks like the apartment if he actually was Peter Weller.
right. Right, exactly. You know Peter Weller's got his fucking jazz corner and his fucking
Yeah.
yeah. But if you look at the kitchen lights, that's a very the lights on the shelves. That's a
The light
very
shelf. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just too fancy for
Hmm.
loner cop, rogue, loose cannon loner cop,
Right.
the grandfather clock, and
I haven't seen Heart and Souls in ages, but for some reason I think this is Robert Downey Jr.'s apartment in Heart and Souls too. But that's not in New York.
mm,
Wouldn't mean to watch that for
yeah, that's one I ain't seen.
28 years or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since HBO back in the day.
I mean, the ghosts are played by Sizemore, Alfre Woodard, Charles Grodin, and Paymer. Like I think, or Paymer's the bus driver. Like I think it might be good. So yeah, but
Maybe.
we'll see. someday.
It's from that '90s era,
It is, but I
the
think
high concept '90s.
this would be why it reminds me of Last Boy Scout.
Mm.
Even though I believe in Last Boy Scout, they're just at a stadium, but they do have the
They're a
fine.
stadium at a it's the big jumbotron, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's the jumbotron. But this is also top of your building shit was in. It's going to be in Last Boy Scout. It's in not Last Boy Scout, Last Action Hero. It's in
Mm.
Dark Man. It's in Three Men and a Baby. It's in like Runaway. It's in Highlander. It's in it's in Die Hard.
Yeah, definitely Die Hard.
um it's basically just it was a bit that I don't think Lethal Weapon ever used, but like it's kind of weird that they never did. I mean,
No.
I don't think they ever could have because it would have been too Judge Dredd. It's in Judge Dredd. Um, we got some nice composites here, folks. Like
Hmm.
that is some nice.
They even did a sequence in fucking Ford Fairlane,
Yep, that's
a
right for
building sequence.
Fairlane. Had it so you know, stunt choreographers or whatever. These guys, they had their strengths. Batman 2 Returns. Would we consider
Mm.
the combination Catwoman? No, not in the same way. So here we have the funny thing where James Woods is in the action movie, like the Nick Lang movie bit, and instead Michael J. Fox gets to play action hero. But he gets away.
The
And
only
he
thing
gets
about this
away.
sequence is that it just goes on and on.
It goes on and on. Like, but this is much bigger action than anything in Point of No Return, for example. So it's like,
Mm.
as far as I remember, like, we got lots going on at once type stuff here, whereas it's wild to think about doing this on I mean, this was no doubt modestly budgeted. Like,
Mm.
better crowd scene than Beverly Hills Cop 3. Yeah, there we go. At least this feels like a movie and not a TV movie. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, they would do segments, making of segments on this entire sequence. I do remember that for promos
Oh, yeah.
because this shit
So,
was a big deal.
Michael J.
Now,
Fox, like, nobody knew if he was gonna. I guess that was kind of the thing is like, nobody knew if Back to the Future was going to be transferable. It didn't seem
Hmm.
like it after the first one, right? Like the some of the movies, the hard late 80s dramas, right? Yuppie dramas, young yuppie dramas. But then you had Back to the Future 2 and 3, and it was like, hey, maybe the world is ready for Michael J. Fox.
Right, as far as leading a film and carrying a film,
Yeah. But
because
like
he'd
they
already transcended fucking Alex. He was
right.
more. He was Michael J. Fox,
And
which a
he
lot of people never, like the only one I could compare him to, really, pretty much Jason Bateman, who was another guy. I don't know if anybody really liked the Hogan family, but he sort of made his way past all of that shit.
right. So if James Woods was willing to just fucking kill this guy, we could have done that so long ago. So he
Yeah,
could
they
have
could have
just
just
fucking killed him in the
could just
first scene.
wasted him. Yeah.
Like if he was just willing to fucking kill him, because you know, yeah, nice composite. I like it.
Hmm.
Times
It
Square got
does
some
look
wind
good.
going. Yeah, look at that
That
wind.
looks better than most Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Now, there's a recent movie I'd have sworn steals this end sequence. I can't think of what movie it is though.
It's the there. Okay, no, it's not quite as Get Shorty sort of would do that in a couple more years.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is why I remember Christina Ricci in a movie theater. It's because she's there seeing the premiere.
I'm guessing it's the theater because it looks like it, or the same theater as earlier.
Mhm. This is also another bit that we reveal that everybody sitting with us has been a character in the movie, and so we can like, but where's Delroy Lindo? Like, no fair.
Hmm.
Give me Delroy with his wife, like
Right.
screaming about, oh, there, oh, all right, no complaints, no complaints. Oh, ooh, hey, DJ Caruso, another guy who didn't turn out to be okay. Um, Rob Cohen. So Rob Cohen, director of Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and Dragonheart. It turns out that he and John Badham were like production partners for like 15 years or more. And it's just that Rob Cohen never made anything until much later. I always sort of saw Rob Cohen as a C tier John Badham, who's a
Hairstylist Michael J. Fox.
Oh shit, we were supposed to look for gowns.
Oh,
Yeah,
ADR.
we got a bunch of
Well,
ADR. We get some security. The Badman Cohen group. There it is. Um,
a lot of accommodations for James Woods and Michael J. Fox.
well, they are the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure Showtech Inc. of Norwalk, Connecticut appreciated that job.
He's second unit already.
Yeah. How we've got 2.5 minutes, but yeah, I think we probably missed gowns right away. Oh, nope, there it is. Just costumes. Though
Yeah.
that's might just be second unit costumes. Yeah, so uh not quite something that was like sequel ready, but I can see them not not thinking about a sequel. Like, and
Yes.
somebody was like, I mean, we could do another one, right?
If this was a hit or a bigger hit, this was sort of mid. It came out mid, and this is the '90s when movies could do that and just not be, you know, they could survive on their own. They could stand on their own, make whatever money. Nobody's franchise minded.
No, you
So
could. I would argue you could have three movies. I would argue RoboCop wasn't a franchise. There were three of them, but it wasn't a franchise. Like they just were sequels, shot entirely on the location in New York. And you could have stuff like that. Like when did anybody call Ghostbusters a fucking franchise until like
until 2016,
right,
they were
like
trying to really, push the new one.
yeah, but franchise suggests that people need the
Wow.
movie. I can't remember if I've ever seen that
No, me neither.
questionably overcomplicated logo. Um, but like Die Hard was not a franchise in this. Like you didn't think of things as franchises back then. So yeah, you could just
No, everything
have
was simply sequels.
yeah. Adam's Family was not a franchise. It was there were a couple of them, right? Like just
Yeah,
how it
it
worked.
was because that was blatantly because the first one made money.
Yeah. And sort of the whole franchise thing raises a little bit of expectation that now that franchise entries aren't delivering on that, is that I would agree is blowback. I don't subscribe to what is it, the superhero. I mean, there is a slowdown in the superhero movie successes, but I don't subscribe to exhaustion in the same way. Like I don't think it's a genre-based exhaustion. I think it's more complicated than that. But
Mm.
you wouldn't have had that problem if you had just dropped a Hardway 2 in 1994. City Slickers is not a fucking franchise, and there's a City Slickers 2. This could have had a
Unless
City
there was
Slickers
like a
3
three.
unless there was a three. But I mean, in that, like, I mean, to some degree, you wouldn't have even have thought of Star Wars as a franchise at that point because it was so dependent on, like, a franchise seems like it can exist with as long as it has Vin Diesel. It can exist. It can be, create. It can have an entry, you know, created by the studio as need be. Whereas shit wouldn't happen because somebody was too busy filming something else and so we didn't end up getting this or we ended up turning this into that and it was very dependent on the actors. Like the reason we didn't have a Lethal Weapon 4 in 95 was because of Mel Gibson, like, or 96, right? Like because the stars could dictate that,
Yeah,
like,
there's
in a
always the
way.
holdout.
Yeah, it
Bill Murray.
mattered. Right. And then Bill Murray just said, "Give me the money," and this is how it went. Though that's actually on what's his fuck. De Niro was the first one to take a huge payday to just like
Yeah.
yeah, and so that whether or not that accelerated the downfall of the movie star is very questionable. Um, a lot of things going on in the mid '90s uh, as far as technology and distribution that sort of set us up for where things are today. Okay, so the hard way, it's all right. Like I like it. It's well made. I
It's
like
fun.
it's fun. I like the actors. It's a little long. Everything in a way, unless something's really good, it's a little long. How about that? How about I watched a
Yeah.
64-minute Roger Corman movie the other day. It was a
Mm,
little long, but Doc Hollywood next time.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I have no problems with that.
Um, yeah. So thank you for joining us in the early '90s once again. Apparently, we just can't get away from them.
Yeah. It there's just a period of time where people just made movies for fun.
Yeah, we
Or
just
it just made movies for people just to watch. They weren't so concerned about how do we blow this up? How do we
nope. It doesn't need to make $100 million. Like it's the sad thing is that this has not been replaced by anything, and I think that's what people sort of can acknowledge is we've gotten to a period where there's a new prestige horror movie every 3 weeks or whatever, right? Like, but we have not gotten to a period where there are action like there's no Hallmark action comedy channel or something, right? Like it's just this, and nothing ever really replaced it. Like the action, I don't know. I don't know. It actually doesn't matter, folks. We'll be back next week with Doc Hollywood.
Yeah, because they've worn out the genre.
Because I'm like, I didn't fucking watch the Lethal Weapon TV show. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Like,
something else too. I never. Uh-uh.
no, no, thank you.
That's something people from our generation would have to thumb our nose at because we had the real thing.
Right.
There's nothing the TV show could have done, especially on a TV show budget, unless they. I don't know. How do you make a Lethal Weapon show without it getting stale after a while?
Like after 5 episodes, like, yeah. Because I
Like
mean,
there's
that's
a
the thing.
reason.
The
There's a
movie,
reason why we enjoyed seeing those guys every few years.
it's not every week that you see people, right? You don't,
Yeah,
it's
it's just.
special when, oh God, I'm going to say it, when Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo are back in our lives. Like,
Mhm.
it's just it's a whole different vibe, and it's gone, and it just seems like nobody really appreciated it enough. And I mean, I would argue we appreciate it more than most because for a while there we were hitting a couple a week and they were wide ranging. Like,
Jeez, could you imagine a Griswold's TV series?
how do they not have one?
That would have just been well. Yeah, I probably would have. I probably would have watched that over something like the Goldbergs.
Tried one of those.
I, you know,
Tried
that one
one.
just doesn't. Yeah,
Um, yeah, like how did the WB never do the Griswolds? Like, um, for those questions and more to not be answered, we'll return with oh God, I think Michael Canton Jones. I might be totally wrong, but I think it's Michael Canton Jones's also 1991 Doc Hollywood,
mm.
starring Michael J. Fox as a Hollywood out of water person again.
Oh yeah, fish out of water.
Yeah, fish out of, that was not intentional, folks. But it's where we're at. So that's what we'll see next time.
Till then, see you soon. Good evening.